Welcome back to the In the Turnbuckle podcast. It is the week in AEW where quite a lot has gone down. There's obviously been other news in wrestling, which we'll get into as well, which we have to talk about as well in wrestling. And of course, we being AEW means only one thing. My man across the pond who's been traveling here, there, and everywhere across the United States for a concert for his partnership that many partnerships that he has. This one being very fruitful. It is the man himself from the FTR follower. Revolution, Honor the Elite as well. That is back. It is Mr. Gary Joe. Morning, I understand to you. Have you had your coffee and your breakfast and everything like that yet?
Well, I did not have my breakfast because I happened to get home very late this morning, about 5 o'clock, from the amazing concert, as Adam said, with the Pretty Wild. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, a partnership that has really turned into something else. Let me tell you, something very beautiful. That being said, though, I did have myself coffee, so that is
Good.
waking me up a little bit.
As long as you got coffee in life, that's all you need. So that's all. That's all good. Now, a great concert. Seen the pictures, look great. The partnership with the band itself is fantastic. So everyone that wants to check that out, you've just posted it on the FTR Facebook page. Is that right?
That is correct.
Go there. Look at that. It's fantastic. AEW. Lots happened since we've last spoke. Look, all in is now done. The road to Forbidden Door in this country. Yeah, 4 weeks or 4 or 5 weeks away before me and David and Rachel and David's dad, Kevin, head down to the O2 for some Forbidden Door shenanigans. There's a slight bit of a concern that potential Will Ospreay and Gabe Kidd now may be missing. We don't know this for certain. Obviously, Will has come out with his neck and back injuries. Gabe Kidd, I think, has got a leg injury because he's now out of the G1. I don't know if that was planned as a match for Forbidden Door. It just seemed likely because of the whole Death Riders situation. But Gary, how important is Will Ospreay to AEW for Forbidden Door that he's there? Maybe if he's competing or not, something, but just to him being there, given the fact it's in the UK.
Me personally, I think this is probably one of the most important, wrestlers in AEW that really could give people, hope to a really good pay-per-view. I mean, you guys always get spoiled over there, okay? When it comes to those AEW shows, and I'm jealous. Um, but obviously ticket sales are massive right now, and I think that really helps when you see Osprey on that poster.
Mm.
Um, you know, I don't know if he's going to have a match, but I do have a prediction that might be very interesting to some. I mean, I can get that out of the way. I
Go.
think Osprey will in fact be there. He's going to thank everyone. He's not going to be in a match because the story here, I think we're going to see a huge shock. This might sound crazy.
Mhm.
It feels like there was a hug a couple weeks before All In
All right.
from, his best friends, Matthew and Nicholas. And I think that was planting the seeds for a possible heel turn from Will Ospreay to Swerve.
Wow.
I think that would really generate some buzz. Um, I don't think they should do that, but it's just something that makes me think like, I mean, I'm sure he's really, like feeling like some of the pains and,
Yeah.
like the guy sacrifices everything in that ring. So maybe he really is injured. But if my prediction's wrong, I will take full responsibility. Um, uh, but yeah, I just Will Ospreay, that name itself really gets people in those doors. Forbidden Door in this case.
Well,
So, um, man, I don't know. I mean, thankfully there is a few weeks to think
yeah.
if he would have a match at all. And with the whole thing with Gabe Kidd, I think that's a legitimate injury. Like it's crazy that he had to forfeit the entire tournament because of
Yeah.
that. So crazy times, man.
It is crazy times. Now you mentioned that actually when you thought about the heel turn was quite interesting, because I'm thinking, could that be the lead in? to perhaps maybe you kind of mentioned it there. Maybe Will, not necessarily the heel turn, Will being unable to compete with Swerve against maybe the Bucks in a rematch or something, and then Will introduces his man taking his place, the man of the master of the half crab, Michael Oku, then makes his AEW, well, permanent AEW debut at Forbidden Door.
Once again, do you take Venmo at him? Oh gosh, that would really be awesome. And yeah, I mean, the fact that he lost his match, speculation there, Cruiserweight Kayfabe posted it a very good point the other day, and that is, he does have a U.S. visa. So, I mean, imagine the possibilities because his match at what was it, Super Card of Honor. I, I don't even want to pronounce his name, Henrico or
Oh,
Henricho,
I'm
but
not even going to go there. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. He showed really good and he made a good impression to a lot of people.
yeah.
So he had a good standing O. So
Yeah, exactly that. We'll see. As we say, we don't even know that they're gonna if Will's gonna be if Will's gonna be injured for that or not. But that will be remains to be seen. But we need to just divert slightly away from AEW. And I should have really started with this because it's not AEW related, but we went into Will. Look, the passing of Hulk Hogan this week, regardless of personal feelings towards the guy. Tony Schiavone done a nice piece on Collision this week, and they did tweet it out. Gary, from your point, what does Hulk Hogan sort of controversies away his sort of history in wrestling? Without Hogan, do we have what we have today and what we're so thankful for today?
the thing about Hogan is, um, I will say he really changed two companies
Yeah,
for the greater good. He did put his doors into, WWF at that time.
yeah,
Like I think it was like right after AWA or something like that.
yeah, yeah,
So that was cool, and obviously there was a lot of Hulkamaniacs. He was the John Cena of John Cena baby faces, right? At that time, and Hulk Hogan, I remember obviously when he came into WCW. Now I got introduced to WCW in '96. Well, wrestling in general, '96. So when we talk about Hogan, about the moments and memories, we talk about what he brought to the table for the faction that will always be talked about, the NWO. Um, Call me a dork, call me a nerd, but there was glass cleaner, and I literally sprayed NWO on my big glass mirror right in my bathroom, um, just because it's it's bittersweet, man. Like, I mean, I get it. Some people have their feelings. The IWC really showed their true colors, by the way.
did not.
Oh my gosh, it was bad. Like, ugh, oh, I don't even want to talk about that. But
No.
people just need to put that aside and just remember what the Hulkster did.
Yeah.
You know, outside of wrestling, of course, I really loved his movie, Mr. Nanny. I still get a good laugh at that movie. So,
Remember the
you know.
Undertaker in that? You're a dead man, Ramsey. That was the line was there.
Oh man, good stuff, dude.
I always called it the pre-puberty Undertaker at that point.
Oh gosh, that's good to know, man.
But leave you with that thought. But yeah, look, sad times. Obviously, a legend within wrestling. But people do outside, and yeah, you're right. We saw the IWC at its absolutely finest. Certainly did that. But look, Hogan's legacy in wrestling will always be, he'll always be one of the top, well, one of the people that moved wrestling to where it is back then.
And another person outside of his, maybe because I love the collaboration with these two girls. Ozzy Osbourne, like what in the
Yeah,
world? Like what a crazy week it has been. An actor, a music artist, and a wrestler all in
yeah,
3 days.
all in the space of three
Like
days.
it is so weird, man.
Crazy, crazy times that we live in for sure. But let's get back to the more pressing and the more happy vibe that is AEW. I tell you what I've liked, and again, I know this is divided opinion on the IWC. I spoke with this with David last week. The residency shows, I am a massive, massive fan of. Now, I don't know if it's because I've obviously watched NWA and they do some of these real, they've been in theaters and stuff like that. And it's just the presentation and how it looks. I love the Chi-Town shows that they're doing, and I'm liking the fact that they're doing this more. They're sort of pit into a city for 2 or 3 weeks, doing a load of shows. For me, I think it's it's a masterstroke by Tony Khan. I don't know. Do you agree with that? I just think the last few shows have been absolutely fantastic.
I mean, there's something right about AEW this year, and that is connecting the pieces, connecting the dots to the stories, and that's what they're just doing each and every time. I mean, Adam, I think you and I were touching on this recently too, where we're
Mm,
like, okay, well, Kyle Fletcher is in fact going to get his moment. When will he get his moment? When he
yeah.
gets that title? Could that be this coming Thursday on Collision? Spoiler,
Yes.
everybody.
Yeah,
But in a Chicago street fight. So that's going to be a damn good match.
it is.
Um, I even said I don't think Dustin's going to be a long champion. I think they
No.
just wanted to do something for him. Especially, it would have been tough to follow up after when Cole, cut that
Yeah.
announcement. So, but aside from that, yeah, these shows within these venues are great. Whoever scouted these venues, I think it's Mike Manseri that helps with that.
Mm,
Um, my goodness, like I like the Chicago building that they're at because I was saying when Adam Page was cutting his promo after becoming the world champion, it felt like he was around his saloons,
yeah.
with him being a cowboy. Like it made sense. It felt appropriate. So these Chicago residencies, people can say what they want. They always say, well, we're never going to support AEW because what they did to Pepsi Man. But look what's happening. Three shows into that residency, all sold out. So, I mean, I get it's a little over 1,200, but 1,200 people make a difference.
I always say that
So,
a sold out building makes a difference compared to an unsold out building, no matter how many people are in there.
facts.
It's as simple as that, isn't it? I couldn't care less if I go to a wrestling show. I'm going to one Friday, for example, and I don't, this is their debut show. There could be, I don't know, it may sell out a couple of hundred. It might do. But I always say that, like, if you go on a venue and you sell that venue out, we've done it with Ignite on a few occasions now when we've sold it out, and it's only 210, 212 in there. But they can make as loud as 3,000 of a building that's got 12,000 seats in. So the fact that AEW are also, it's common sense, right? They know now that maybe they jumped the gun, maybe they did, maybe they thought we'd sell out these big arenas and they didn't. So what they did was reset and said, okay, well we'll start slowly building up. We'll do our pay-per-views because they always do big numbers at the show. There's no doubt about that. Pay-per-views and some of the special shows do the bigger sort of attendances. But why not? If you can get an option where you can get like they've done residency show, 1,200 people, sell it out 6 times. They're going to get that money. They're going to get the merch money. They've got the streaming money, which may have well been the important factor here. The streaming thing allows them to maybe take that step back a little bit because they've got that money from the streaming deal. But what they've done is they've just
Mhm.
worked so much smarter, haven't they?
You literally said everything that I would have possibly said. But you know what? You win for the internet today, sir. That is perfectly put. I even said this beginning of the year. I like the formula that they're going, small weekly, big monthly with their pay-per-views.
Yeah,
And look what's happening. I'm so it's been reported, granted, Meltzer, but
yeah,
with Canada with Canada now along with Forbidden Door, and then of course with All in Texas,
yeah.
AEW has never seen three consecutive $1 million gates like this. So the point of that being is, yeah, AEW to me is doing all the right things when it comes to these venues because you're really gaining that trust with that audience.
Yeah.
And this is one thing that I always say, just time and time again, this company really proves the doubt because you're saying it's a horrible show. You think it's bad, yada, yada, yada. But yet the figures speak for itself with their pay-per-views. So I think AEW is doing just fine. And granted, they've lost some key talent to their roster, but that doesn't stop them from getting people in those seats.
Nope, absolutely doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. I always say if anyone had like when they say that sort of thing, well, you must have seen some of it if you for you to tweet it out, or just oh yeah, you've seen a picture. Well, the picture's a picture, right? You're not there. You haven't what you're not watching the television program. If you've watched a television program and you don't like it, fine. Like if I don't like something and you don't like something, but we will come on here and we will say why. And it's well, I always think it's a compelling argument. It isn't just it's AEW or it's NXT or it's something else. We're just going to shit on it because we don't particularly like it. It's this is what we don't like, and this is why, which is exactly what I enjoy talking to you and everyone else about being. I just think the sometimes it's just easy to take a shot at AEW. They've done that a lot this week with the Hogan thing because they didn't do it straight away, and then Collision come along and it happened, and that still got the gripes because it was like, oh, well, they only done it because he
Yeah.
was kicked off, and you're like, come on, seriously.
I mean, dude, I even made a video about that too. I was going to share it on my page, but that might stir a little controversy. Not in a bad way, but
Yeah,
granted, they didn't say anything because number one, it was on Thursday. We had Collision on Saturday. That maybe would have gave us enough time to figure out, okay,
yeah,
they're really going to do something because AEW is really known to show you know, in tribute to, you know,
yeah.
and then look what they have done. The Rock's father, the
Mhm.
Hana Kimura, to
Yeah,
Bray Wyatt, to an amazing fleet of talent that has never stepped in AEW before. And that's the type of respect that I love to see,
Mm.
with AEW. And not just them. New Japan did their thing too for Hogan, TNA, but these people are just so quick to assume because all it takes is one
Yeah,
tweet to spread it like wildfires. And that's why I cannot stand Twitter.
yeah,
It is so bad, man. And man, I can't figure out the IWC. I really, really cannot. I'm glad that, me, you, and then other amazing content creators that actually want to be real.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't share anything about Hogan, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to.
No,
I'm eventually going to. And the last thing that I will touch up on that too, so that creation that I made, it actually showed those pictures of Bray Wyatt, Hana Kimura, Rock's father. Um, and then at the end, the people that are saying AEW are the biggest hypocrites or the biggest jokes, are we really going to pretend that you did not boo Hogan on his last appearance, that you
yeah,
saw him on television? Over
exactly.
17,000 people?
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah. Exactly that.
So,
That's so they're just so I don't know. I've given up trying to figure those guys out in the IWC. But anyway, back to the action. There was quite a good day. Well, not a debut as such. She debuted quite recently, but she was in the main event, a Collision. Alex Windsor in a great match with Athena. Um, Alex Windsor, is she gonna be? I mean, the fact that she went in there as well and she's done stuff with Athena and all of this stuff's coming out, I think shows where the position that they think, or at least the position that AEW thinks that she's going to be into in that women's division.
easily, absolutely. um, I think when it comes to the four women that AEW has signed, and it feels like maybe that's the future pillars. Thekla to Megan Bain, Alex, and yep, Mina.
Yes, Mina.
I think Alex has a really great, promising future, and it helps when you are the fiance of Bruv. But no, it's not all about that though. It's just, I mean, Adam, it's like I said earlier in the year. I was like, gosh, I'm hoping a signing will come to AEW, and that's Alex. And that main event last night, oh my gosh, was it good? It just so it shows how great both Athena and Alex are. But man, the the position that Alex is going to be in, I would not be surprised if she becomes AEW World Champion, well, Women's World Champion, in about. Tony likes long title reigns, so I give it like a year and a half,
I have a
maybe.
theory. All
Ooh,
in, all in goes off the air next year. Will Ospreay, Alex wins are world heavyweight champions of their division.
you're gonna make me broke. Yes, dude, I love that. How did now? See, I did not think of
I literally just thought of it when you was talking about her being a year
that.
before she was going to be champion. It could work. It could work. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll
That
see.
is, I like that. You're gonna make me post something like that today, aren't you?
Well, if you do, you know where the credit is, right?
Oh, absolutely.
No, that's all good. But no, we'll see what happens. Future's bright for her, definitely. In that division, obviously Tony Storm as well. Tony Storm and Athena. There's just so much going on in that women's division at the minute. But it brings me to my first little question. Now, I did say to you when we before we went on air that we're going to be playing a little game this evening, or so it's evening for me. It's morning into afternoon for you. And it was a game where I give you a trade option from a wrestler, and you tell me if you would take that trade or whether you would keep the AEW star there at the brand. So, speaking of the women's division, I have two of them in mind, and the first one I'm going to say to you, AEW gives me Sky Blue, and they get Roxanne Perez. Is that a trade that you're taking, or are you leaving Sky Blue where she is?
Man, you have the big sky blue.
I was going to pick Statlander, but I already knew what the answer was going to be.
Oh, I mean, if you would have went with Statlander and Rhea, I mean, that would be tough. This one is tough too. Roxanne, obviously, she's been in wrestling a lot longer, with
Yeah,
ROH to now NXT/WWE.
yeah.
She's doing really, really good things right now. I really love her in Judgment Day, if I could be transparent. I think she really fits that mold.
She does.
Sky Blue, though, now she's part of this, looks like a faction. Or not really a faction, what do they call it? If it's just a trio.
Trio, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. With Julia Hart and Thekla, which
Yes.
that is perfect too. Honestly, before she got injured, Sky Blue,
Mhm.
I saw so much promise to Sky Blue, and I still do. Um, like she really is nitty and gritty and just everything. Like it's crazy to know that when you look at Sky Blue, you're like, oh yeah, look at that. She's a hot looking face. She can kick your ass. Uh, so same thing goes for Roxanne Perez. But I would certainly keep Sky Blue.
You'd keep Sky Blue.
I would certainly keep Sky Blue. It's just she's so talented,
Yeah.
and I could really see the match that she wants. It's getting teased more and more each time, and that's the Blood and Guts women's match.
Yes.
Um, when could that happen? I don't know because they're doing these smaller arenas,
Yeah.
but we shall see. I'm hoping a pay-per-view, honestly, like Full Gear or something. Um, but yeah, Sky is just incredible, but that does not take away from Roxanne Perez. My biggest takeaway with this, it was a very challenging debate here there, Adam, okay? Because I
Well,
really love them both.
yeah. Well, I think I may stump you. Well, now I did Rhea Ripley's in the second women's one, but it's not
Oh,
Statlander. That's the I had you got a choice. You can pick Rhea Ripley from WWE, but it going in the other way is Megan Bain.
now see, we're supposed to be pals, dude. Uh, um, we're not going to be friends anymore. No.
No.
Honestly, oh my gosh, Megan is another one that feels like she's just incredible. Like, wow, pure domination, but same thing goes for Rhea. I gotta go with Rhea on this one because, I've always been a Ripley fan since her NXT days to heck, even before that,
Mhm.
before she even stepped in WWE. She did great for the indie circuit, of course. across the pond. Yep, I am for sure going with Rhea.
Yeah, fine, excellent. So there's two more on that. We haven't finished yet on those, but we'll come back.
Oh,
We haven't finished on
okay.
the trades. There's a couple more. Yeah, but we'll get into them in a bit. Going back to the AEW stuff. So this past week again on Collision, we nearly saw somewhat of a double turn during Collision this week. Max Caster with his open challenge was obviously answered by Bowens. Billy Gunn was there. Um, Bowens did win. He was quite relentless. He nearly had a fight with Billy Gunn at the end of this because he was checking on Caster. Either one or two things I think will happen out of this.
Oh,
There will either be, I saw a flash and he's gone. So I'm going to have to carry on doing this on my own for a minute while Gary Joe prepares his computer phone or whatever it is that he's on. So we will go back to AEW stuff very, very shortly. The good thing on this is that I can edit this. And here he is. He's right back. So maybe I won't edit it. Maybe you'll just have to see my fantastically rugged good looks once again as we just await the return of Gary Joe. He is back, just not in a camera form yet. Hold on.
there we
There he is.
go.
Yeah, hey.
Sorry, dude. My brother Adam was calling me. Literally, that's his name.
There we go. It
Sorry
wasn't me.
about that, man.
That's fine. So I was going to get to my point. I'm leaving that in, by the way. We're going to have that as a take because we generally do one takes on this show. So unless something happens for a prolonged period of time, then we get it edited. So anyway, where was it? I was saying about my theory with this is either Bowens turns and Max turns the other way, or Billy Gunn reunites the acclaimed.
AEW, I think more and more I think about it. I mean, at first I'm thinking, okay, this should be kind of fun with, Caster going solo. He's
Yeah.
always getting the heat, and when it comes to being a heel, it has really fizzled out a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like we really need the acclaimed being back together again. However, I do like the thought of a double turn because
Yeah.
it feels like Caster is getting more over.
Mm.
Um, so I could certainly see a double turn for sure. I'm curious to see where it goes. You did get that tease again last night with
Yeah.
that possible double turn. So yeah, anything is possible, man. I could really see that.
Or do they both then reunite but take out Billy Gunn? And he goes back with
That's interesting.
potentially the guns, but perhaps with Cole. I know Colton's out of an injury at the moment, but potentially, I don't know. I'm throwing
I
stuff out.
mean, I see your point on that because I feel like the reason why Billy got with them is because, they wanted to help out to get, the team over a little bit because, they were just not getting their
Hmm.
spark. And then this is what happens when you get Billy involved, or just like a legend because it
Yeah.
kind of helps. Well, they're over for sure. So, I mean, that would be interesting. Billy going back,
I mean,
with the
maybe he won't
guns,
go
but
back with them because they were part of obviously they're part of the Bang Bang Gang, and we'll get into that in a minute. But I just maybe think that acclaimed. I think the acclaim were far better when they were heels, when they were cutting those, shall we say, risky raps at the start. That's the acclaim that I love.
I do as well, and it feels like AEW really this year especially is attracting an audience that is just so adult oriented, more than that they
Yeah,
have ever had. So I really could maybe see that for sure. I miss the raps, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, they were brilliant.
So
They were
they
great.
were great.
I love them ones. But we're going into tag team. We're talking tag teams now. AEW are doing a world tag team title eliminator with the winners. I don't know. Would you class them winners because they would get the Hurt Syndicate if they were to win? Because the winner of this does get a opportunity at Forbidden Door at the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Now, FTR did qualify this week with a victory over Jet Speed. The brackets are the Bang Bang Gang against Big Bill and Brian Keefe. We've got the Outrunners and the Young Bucks. I know who we're going to be voting for on that one. And it says then the Gates of Anarchy versus Bro Dido. I instantly thought Bro and thought Matt Riddle all of a sudden when I first saw that. Um, but anyway, they should have some really good matches in this. But I just want to talk about the Hurt Syndicate quickly. Well, not aligning themselves this week, but Adam Copeland paid a visit to some old pals this week and got the help from the Hurt Syndicate. MJF is sort of like going back on the outskirts of this. Hurt Syndicate are kind of faces, kind of heels, depending on, I suppose depending on the week, really. But that's what makes it great. That what I like about the Hurt Syndicate is they're very switchable very easily if they need to be.
Oh man, they could play their part really, really well. No doubt. I mean, because I'm trying to figure out like, are they heels or are they faces? It's tough. But I think their face is going forward,
Mm.
and I could really see something here, no doubt. I am predicting FTR Hurt Syndicate for the tag team titles
Yep.
because MJF does cost the Hurt Syndicate as payback, and the Pinnacle are officially back together.
Literally, that I didn't have that in mind, but when you said MJF costing the Hurt Syndicate,
Yes.
that's when I thought Pinnacle because they
Yes.
were together, wasn't they, as a team? That makes a lot of sense, actually. When
Now, would they bring back either Wardlow or somebody keeps teasing stuff on Twitter, Alex Hammerstone?
Ooh,
Personally, I'm hoping Wardlow. I want to see him back so bad. He keeps teasing it too. Um,
yes, he does.
but you obviously have to get that muscle, right?
Yeah,
To,
definitely.
get even with the Hurt Syndicate. So that's what I could see for sure. Either Hammerstone or Wardlow back. And then we really could see the Pinnacle. And they've been teasing it for a while,
Yeah,
even before MJF got with the Hurt Syndicate. And yeah, I mean, Pinnacle will really maybe get all the championship gold, like the world championship gold. Like that would be huge for them.
yeah. I think it'd be great. I would love that. I would love it. And it could also then, if they've got four. And it's the Hurt Syndicate with just the two. I know they got obviously Shelton Benjamin, they got Bobby Lashley, and obviously MVP as well. But if they need, if Copeland needs a fourth, we know who that's going to be, right?
I
He's your
wonder.
he's your father. He's my father. He's,
He's a good dad, isn't he?
yeah, he's such a great dad. Christian Cage, because obviously Adam Copeland told him to go find himself. I think it was instead of go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So there we go. That could happen. That could happen. But Adam Copeland is one of my next trade-offs for you, Gary Joe.
Ooh, okay.
So I personally want to bring Adam Copeland back to WWE so he can do his big final blow off with John Cena because I feel as if that's one of the only parts of the Cena kind of. If you go back to his farewell tour, it's probably his biggest rival that he's never going to be able to face again. So in order to bring Copeland to back to WWE, I'm offering you the phenomenal AJ Styles in return.
This is a phenomenal question. Let's make it that let's certainly make it a phenomenal trade. I accept that one. I really like AJ. The thought of coming to AEW. I mean, Will Ospreay keeps asking about that dream match that he wants with AJ, and AJ,
Yeah.
if he in fact signed that 1 year extension that expires in June, I mean, all in. I mean, you know,
Oh yeah,
uh,
yes, please, because we don't get spoiled enough with matches from AEW in the UK. That would be nice to have at Wembley. AJ Styles, Will Ospreay.
oh gosh, that would be incredible for you guys. And again, I would be jealous.
Love that.
But yeah, I'd like that trade.
You like
So
that one?
count me in for that one.
Great, you can have that one. I'd like that for two reasons. Say from a thing, I'm a big Edge fan. It's a brood tattoo. You probably can't see it. I've got the rated R on my shoulder, so that's the one feud I wish I could see one more time, but I'm not going to get the chance to. But nevertheless, you accepted the thing, so we just need to contact the powers that be in both promotions and make it happen, right? I'm sure they'll get along just fine.
Absolutely.
Um, right, Death Riders. Bit of a weird one this week. So obviously, Hangman defeats Willie Uta, bloodies him. There is no Death Riders in tow to help him at this point. There is going to be a match. I think it's this. It is this week. Hangman got to pick the stipulation. It's Hangman Moxley one more time. Says everybody is barred from ringside for this. Was you expecting Hangman and Moxley to finish it all in? Was that when you kind of, because of the Texas Death Match, it was kind of, yeah, normally those type of matches are the end of a feud. Was you surprised that it carried on? And you don't see Moxley picking up the victory this week, do you, on Dynamite?
I'm very surprised that they're continuing it. Um, I was like everybody else, like, why are we continuing this? Like, but I think, what is really going to happen at the end of the day is, I'm hoping this is a better title reign for Adam Page holding the world championship the first time. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think Hanger wins for sure. I'm hoping there's a clean winner. If they do something unexpected where, okay, well, we gave Adam Page his feel good moment, now that's over. Yeah, he's gonna drop the title, and then you're gonna see Darby Allin and John Moxley for the world title next.
Oh
But
yeah.
I personally hope they don't do that because that would be pretty dirty for Adam Page. Like, no, with no one allowed to be involved, I'm curious to see how the match finishes. Is it
Hmm.
going to be an actual clean finish? It's going to be interesting. Don't be surprised if Tony does something like a time limit draw again.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's an
So,
hour.
I
Is that
mean,
that's an hour, isn't it? They got an hour for title matches, right?
I believe so, yeah. I don't think they would take an hour away from that TV time for other talent, but um, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on Wednesday for sure.
That's why we need to tune in Wednesday for matches like that because it's intriguing. Because now you're like, because you can argue that they could easily revert back to Mox because you've already got something right there, haven't you? You've got Darby
Hmm.
Allin, and then what you've got is Darby Allin winning, MJF cashing in his shot straight away and winning the world title straight off Darby Allin. So Darby Allin's feel good moment lasts 30 seconds, and then bang, MJF comes in, does that,
Oh, see,
and that's an MJF move, isn't it?
it really is. And see, now that you're saying that, I don't think MJF is going to cash in at any time soon. I
No,
really hope not. I hope they just drag this out long enough for Adam Page. Um, because what is it, up to a year, just like the Money in the Bank? So
think so.
yeah, so there's enough time there. I just don't want them to do Hangman dirty. So um, yeah, I just like if let's say if that does happen, right? Your prediction, I don't see that many title switches that quickly.
True. Yeah,
Because again, Tony does love long-term title
he does.
champions, which is why he does the interim champion, which he needs to steer away from.
Hopefully, injuries don't make that happen. 'Cause that was really what it was, and barring a suspension or two for some other man that we won't name, and he's not on my list of trades because I knew what the answer would be for that.
Coca-Cola or Pepsi? Coca-Cola.
um, but yeah, it would be good. I don't like the interim reigns myself. Although we did kind of isn't that not how Tony Storm kind of started? Did was she not interim champion and then it kind of went
She
timeless?
was
Sort of, so sometimes it works, but we don't really want to see it. We certainly don't want to see it due to injuries. That's for sure. Because that's
very true.
bad on the person that got injured. I'm going to start to wrap up in a minute. I do have two more though trades, and then I'm going to ask you one other question, which is regarding the AEW Championship. So, I hadn't mentioned him yet, and I can't wait to see him back. I'm hopeful it's not too long. Eddie Kingston is going to be joining the WWE because I'm going to trade him off for you. Uh, I'm not working for the WWE, by the way. I've got to play general manager to general manager here, right? So I've got to do it. So I want Eddie Kingston and in return, I'm offering you Finn Balor.
Uh, dang it. See, you're bringing in the Bullet Club guys. Oh,
Yeah, I
no.
did that on a reason, for a reason.
Oh, that's a good one. I mean, Eddie Kingston, I love him for his promos. I love Finn because of his amazing wrestling ability. But you know what? I would love to see that very dark, mysterious entrance one more time. So I'm going to go with Finn Balor on this one. So
Wow.
you guys can take Eddie Kingston.
Yes. Just want to slight aside from AEW just a minute on this. Progress Wrestling have just announced. Now we might be busy on the Monday now after Forbidden Door. So
Oh
Progress
my.
Wrestling have just announced that in a match that's going to happen the day after Forbidden Door, Luke Jacobs will defend his Progress Men's World Championship against man like Darius in a match where, funnily enough, everyone is barred from ringside, but but it's contested under TLC rules.
Wow, Wrestling is like, we're going to get people's money's worth with Luke. That should be a really good match.
And as
Damn.
long
Wow.
as and as long as Darius survives that, you can see him at Ignite with me 4 weeks later at my show. But yeah, I just wanted to break away for that because that's a really big match that they've just announced for their show in
I'm
August.
glad
100
that you told
volts, I
me that.
think it's called. Their show. It's their 100th special. They're doing a joint show, GCW and Bloodsport. No,
Okay.
I got that wrong. That's not the show. The 100 volts is the show, but the show they're doing in September, the week after my show with Ignite, is the joint show with GCW and Bloodsport. But TLC will
You,
headline the August show in at Bank Holiday Monday.
you know how much I like Luke, huh? That's why you brought it up, Adam.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly why. That's exactly
The
why
friendship is nice here, man.
I've got a picture with Luke Jacobs somewhere from last year when we had him on my show last year. I was the first one to buy his top. He'd already sold a top
Oh,
before he'd even put it out. Well, he just about put it out, and I nicked one. Well, not nicked one, I bought it. No, I did buy it, for that matter. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get back to this last pick. Now, I wanted Hanger off of you, but I'm not going to offer you any champion, though. So you might have to create one. Um, I'm not going to offer you Roman either. I'm keeping him. I'm not going to offer you Seth, but I am going to offer you Randy Orton in exchange for a Hanger.
well, I have liked Randy a lot longer. Um, for a guy that's almost 50, he can go. Um, but I do have a soft spot for a cowboy. This ain't cowboy shit, folks. I'm actually gonna go with Adam Page. I think, the last few years, he's so great. Yeah, I had to think about that for a second. I didn't want to second guess myself, but no, I'm gonna keep Hangman
You're going to keep the Hanger, so I'll keep Randy.
because he has a longer career ahead of him. Nothing
Yeah,
against Randy, but
he does.
AEW doesn't need any more legends. Okay.
Fair enough. Before we ask you the final question, obviously, well wishes to Jay White as well.
Yes.
So there's more injury concerns for him. Looks like he may be out. Allegedly, we don't know, but the rumors are out until the end of this year. Is what we're hearing at the moment. Whether those are true or not is another thing, but we'll find out very very soon. So best wishes to Jay White. But my question to you at the end of this is when or and who defeats Hangman Adam Page for the AEW Championship, and when will that take place, in your opinion?
When not too sure. Who I think it's going to be MJF.
You think MJF's going to be the one to do
I really do.
it?
And
Interesting.
maybe World's End, going into the new year,
Yeah,
So,
makes sense because wasn't
yeah.
World's End when the Devil got announced, wasn't it last time out? Well, not last time out, but the Devil was. So MJF's not had a great World's End, has he? Really, in over the course of time. shall we say?
Yeah, I mean, last year something was missing a little bit after when he re-signed. Just didn't know what. I think the thing that was really holding it back was, yeah, they tried to move away from the Devil storyline.
Hmm.
But this year, people can say what they want. MJF can pull anything off. Like,
Yeah.
the whole thing with the Hurt Syndicate's a blast. And again, with the Pinnacle maybe being reformed, that that could be the faction that could really get all the gold. And I think we all can agree when this was originally started with Tully Blanchard and everything, it was supposed to be the evolution of AEW, right? Or the Four Horsemen, whatever you want to call it. So I think this has the chances of being really great again. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, I'm gonna for sure go with that damn scumbag.
The scumbag. And what happens to the Death Riders? Do they expire? What goes on? Do they split? What's going on with them, do you think?
I really don't know. I think Mox does the stuff with Darby Allen.
Yep.
I would love to see Marina Shafir meet. I hope it doesn't lead to what some people are thinking, and that is Stata Marina as a tag team. I'm sorry, I hope not. If they do, that would give Marina something to do outside of the faction. Yuta, maybe he could actually do something. I'm just trying to think what they could maybe do with him. Maybe no, I was gonna say something maybe with Brian, but that doesn't make sense right now. And then Claudio, I would love to see him as a singles guy again,
Yep.
personally. Maybe get a good title reign for once. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough if they, let them all break apart. And I mean, everything's there. It's just it needs to make sense. So,
Yeah.
and that is a tough question, but I like the question for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what happens to them either, to be honest. I think the breakup's inevitable and I think it's already happening. But I just don't
Yeah.
know where do they piece off to, I suppose, is where I don't really know myself. That's why I was thinking that you may have your prediction may enlighten me a bit to create something in my head, and you failed in that one, unfortunately. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, in all fairness, I didn't know actually. I was thinking myself. I mean, I was thinking, did they switch and turn face and go against FDR and perhaps the Pinnacle?
That's a possibility too. Um,
Don't know.
maybe.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I'm still stumped.
yeah, well, you gave me a little bit of light there with the Pinnacle, and that's the switch would make sense. So, but that's what I mean. Lots going on in ACW, in AEW, and exciting times as we move into Forbidden Door over here in the UK, and we will soon be talking to someone about Forbidden Door over here in the UK. I'm hoping to tie that date down anytime soon with a certain Brian Cage. He won't be at Forbidden Door. Obviously, I don't think he will. It'll be a question I'll be asking him with his with his injury. But we should hopefully going to get a date from him very in the next week or so. So it'd be great to chat to him. I'm looking very much forward to that, and I'm looking forward to Forbidden Door. Gary, thanks as ever for your time. I know you appreciate you've not had a lot of sleep and you've been really busy this weekend. But on your FTR page, what have you got coming up that everyone can look forward to?
Yeah, so starting, I was supposed to start a couple weeks ago, but a little bit of setbacks. But um, this coming, no, actually, sorry, next Wednesday. So not this coming Wednesday. We're off to the races for recaps with Dynamite. They're excited for that. Got a couple people. One is a great guy. His name is Gino Lewis. He actually does some really great wrestling affiliation in California. So that should be fun. Him and his wife Amy. And then we got something great that I'm very excited for, and that is something that's going to be pretty wild. In September, predictions are starting up. Whoever wants to partake in that, go to my page. The form will be officially released. What is going to be happening is it's going to be elimination style with a pool of 32 participants. and the winner is decided at World's End with that pay-per-view. So basically, it's predictions based off the pay-per-views. The winner of that will get any AEW shop T-shirt that you can find that I will get for you. So got a lot of that going on, and shout out to TPW is what I like to call them. Pretty Wild has been so damn good to me. I will say that day that we had was just incredible. It's going to be like 2 minutes, Adam, if you don't mind me just talking about it.
Go ahead. Go right ahead, man.
So we had a meet up in the lobby, and I kid you not, this is when I was like, wow, you are just more than doing a collaboration. You are somebody that treats you that you are an important piece to them. Because here came Jill, which is the six-pack Jill. Okay, she's massive. And she was like, Bearded! She was just so excited that she gave me the biggest hug. And it felt like, wow, like it's amazing how happy they are to work with you. Um, Felt like a cinematic movie when we were saying bye to each other. Jill turned around for a moment and she cried because she didn't want us to leave each other. Um, but it's, man, like it's amazing what positivity can do for you on a podcast. Whether that's my page, Mongo's page, to Sky Blue News doing good things over there with, him doing his Patreon with Sky Blue, so that way he can interact with her. And just like this one here, I cannot stress out enough. Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast is really picking up steam, folks. So if you don't not click that notification bell, to subscribe, what the hell are you doing? So please give them a follow, because without Adam, he wouldn't be doing this. He wouldn't be doing great things. So yeah, I know. I was thinking a band, and I was thinking you, my friend. But yeah, that's what's going on my page, and yeah, very excited for it.
Don't forget it. Well, make sure if you haven't already followed FTR, make sure that you do for the Revolution on Facebook. You can check it out. You're back on Insta, I see as well.
That is correct.
There you go.
And TikTok more lately too.
I think I've got you. I'm sure I've got you on TikTok. I'm sure.
Yeah, I tagged you in, and then I saw you react to it. So
you did. Good. So now tomorrow at record. So tomorrow I'm recording. I'm going on a podcast myself with a guy called well, the website, the Twitter handle is Tom Talks Rubbish, and so he's got a great guest, someone that can talk rubbish. I'll be sitting down with him tomorrow and recording that. I believe from Tom, it's going out in September time, so we'll keep that. I'll let everybody know when it's out, and you can watch that with me. It's going to be weird me being a guest on a show. It's very unusual. Apart from some of your stuff that we've done in the past, but also coming up on the channel that I can say we're going to be going into with Crossfire Wrestling this week. We should have recorded them with last week, but had a few technical problems in the stateside, funnily enough, not our side, the stateside. So myself and Fiona will be talking to the KFW owner, Tommy Henry, but he's also bringing along one of his daughters, which is the NWA Women's World Champion Kenzie Page, will also be a part of that. So it'll be a second time we've got to interview Kenzie, which is great. Head of the NWA 77 taping for their 77th anniversary show. And then coming up in August, I'll be interviewing somebody, or two people actually, is called David James Bartholomew and Will Scar. Now, if you go on Spotify and you type in "If We Wrote the Theme," and in brackets Volume 1, they have taken some wrestling themes and they've created new ones for certain wrestlers. So we're going to be interviewing those. And we're also going to be talking to somebody, or we're going to be playing our top 10 series with WWE, with the top 10 wrestling oh my God moments. And I was trawling through TikTok the other week or the other month to look at someone to bring in for this, and there was someone with like nearly 4 million likes, and she plays so many games like a top 10, like a top 10. She does friends and enemies. She does wrestlers that have died, who the culprits are, where it all happened. And that's Renee, or Hey, it's Renee, as she's called on socials. So go and check her out. She'll be coming on to do the top 10 series. I'm also on Worldwide Wrestling UK with former Dart star Matthew Edgar. We've clipped some content out recently that has done really, really well. So I'm on like a kind of do two podcasts, one with Matt, one with myself. We'll be reviewing some more stuff. Getting down with some more stuff of him soon as well. And of course, I have to plug my final one of the evening. Ignite and Hitting a Turnbuckle coming together for Buckle Up Free September 21st. Tickets 60% gone already. Get them. People know, man, like Doris is going to be there. I can't announce anybody else yet, but our Hitting the Turnbuckle Championship will be defended. Aluna will make her second defense against the debuting Alexis Falcon. Charles Crowley's cheeky little buggers. Charles Crowley will be there as well. So there you go. The cheeky little buggers will be in there in full flow. Go to Eventbrite, type in Buckle Up Free. You will get your tickets there. Gary, thank you so much for joining us, as always. I always look forward to seeing your content online. We'll do this again, probably, hopefully next week, if I'm not a show. I'm actually at Olympus Wrestling Friday night, actually, over right near me in Essex. So I look forward to seeing their debut show. Follow us at HTD Buckle on X, HTD Buckle on YouTube, Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast, and all other social media outlets. And until next time, everybody, stay elite, stay safe, and goodbye.